Hello everyone, I'm back with another art tutorial and today we'll be painting this aesthetic landscape. I'm using an A5 size sketchbook for this purpose and I have started painting from the top of the sheet using a pastel purple shade which I made by mixing purple and white. I'm using a flat brush here. I added a little bit of the original purple shade on the top and blended it right there. I'm using the same purple in some amount at the bottom of the sheet as well, and I'm using little amounts of black on top of it and blending it right there. Also use some grey strokes on the top area also, and I'm blending them using a dry brush. While blending, always use a dry brush and brush over the other strokes using the dry brush very lightly so that they blend with the background color. Make sure you're very fast with this process because if the base layer dries out completely, it becomes really hard to blend acrylics. The problem does not arise if you're using poster colors or gouache. Below the purple area, I'm using some white acrylic paint. As you can see, the background purple and the white is not now blending easily because the purple has dried up completely. For this purpose, I already have some purple left which I used in the previous step, and I'm using it at the top of the white area so that the white and the purple blend a little. I'm moving my brush from top to bottom so that we get a nice dark to light gradient. I'm using the white here to create a gradient between two shades. Also use some of the lighter purple on the other areas and blended them using the dry brushing technique. The second shade we used here is an orange shade. I used it at the bottom of the white area and I'm blending the two together by lightly brushing over them using my flat brush. At the center area, I'll be once again applying some white to blend the purple and the orange together in a better way. Once again, I'm blending from top to bottom, as you can see. When you're brushing on the purple area, make sure you're doing it very lightly so that you get soft strokes. If you apply a lot of pressure on your brush, you will get hard strokes which do not look nice in a soft gradient. After your background has dried up, I'll be painting some foggy mountains. For this purpose, I have made a light mustard kind of shade for which I took some white, a little bit of orange and a tiny tinge of brown. I'm using a round-headed brush for this purpose. I'll be using this mustard shade only on the tops of the mountains and blending them down using my fingers. I'm just brushing over the pigment with my fingers towards the lower area so that the pigment gives you a dark to light gradient from top to bottom. Now I'm painting the second mountain and I'll be blending this also in the same manner as I did for the previous one. The topmost mountain has to be the lightest, the middle one should have a middle tone and the lowermost one has to be the darkest, since fog lessens as you descend towards the lower side. For making darker shades, I just keep on mixing tiny amounts of brown to the shade I had made, and I blend them using a dry brush or my fingers. Now I'm using the brown in its true form using a tiny detail brush, mainly towards the tops so that it gives a little details to the mountains rather than just bland mustard shades. After the mountains have dried up, I'm using black acrylic paint for painting the tree silhouette. For painting the trees, I'm using a fan brush. A fan brush allows you to create natural looking leaves in a very easy and fast manner. Make sure when you're using the fan brush, you keep on changing the direction, otherwise you will get hard strokes in just one direction which does not look natural. If one does not have a fan brush, one can also use a tiny detail brush. The effect will be same, but the process will take much more time. I left some space on the right corner of my tree. Next, I'm using the fan brush once again to paint the lavender field on the bottom area of the sheet. The base color is purple, and I'll be using various shades that I make for giving gradients to my lavenders. I'm using a particular range of colors ranging from dark to light. For the darker colors, I mixed a tinge of black to the purple, and for lighter colors, you can keep on mixing white. Once again, keep in mind to change the direction of your fan brush periodically. Now I'm starting with the sun. Make sure the black area is completely dried up before you start with the sun. I'm painting a white circle at the center for the sun. Surrounding this, I'll be using some lemon yellow. I'm using a tiny detail brush for this purpose. Surrounding the lemon yellow, once again, I'll be using a light orange shade, which I make by mixing lemon yellow and a tiny tinge of orange. I blend it from the center towards the outside in circular motion, that is from the white towards the orange side. Now I'm using a long thin brush for painting the sun rays. The base color here is the same light orange shade which I had made use of during the previous step. The sun ray has to be thick towards the sun, and it should taper down as it comes down. The bottom has to be blended, so you can either brush on it very lightly using your flat brush or just tap on it. The edges also have to be blended, so I'm using the same flat brush which is dry in texture and lightly brushing over the edges of my sun ray. Repeat the same process to paint all the sun rays. Next, I'm using a lighter shade at the center of the sun rays, for which I mixed a good amount of lemon yellow to the previous shade and blend them as we did previously. At the end, just add some more white to the center. Now I'm peeling the masking tape off. Here you are with your aesthetic landscape painting. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, do not forget to like, share and subscribe.